Welcome to Education, Leadership, and Beyond, Surviving and Thriving. My name is Andrew Murata, host of the show, and a warm welcome to our live viewing audience, proud member of the Education Podcast Network, Voice Ed Radio Canada. Wherever you're taking in your podcast, thank you for tuning in. Leave us a comment, leave us a question, leave us a review, and certainly jump in today and say hello to Mrs. Pickering, Siera Pickering from Saranac Lake, beautiful Saranac Lake, New York. Siera's a New Yorker. Siera is a Syracuse, home of the Orange grad. I got my mug here for her, and we will meet her in a minute. She is a young budding star there in Saranac Lake, and lucky enough to have her on the podcast. A quick word from today's sponsor, IXL. As an educator, you're finishing up here in the Northeast. Down south, you're done. But when you look back, what did they learn? Where was the growth? IXL is a great tool to help you do that. Thanks, IXL.
I'd like to thank IXL for sponsoring today's podcast. Over 1 million teachers use IXL in their classroom every day. IXL is the most widely used online learning and teaching platform K through 12. It empowers schools with complete curriculum, thousands of instructional resources, robust reporting, assessment data, and more. It saves teachers a lot of valuable time with ready-made plans aligned to the standards and the textbooks. Built-in engagement tools like custom competitions make learning fun for students. And IXL's diagnostic is research proven to be a strong predictor of performance on standardized assessments. And the best part, everything I just mentioned is all integrated into one platform, so you can simplify your EdTech tools. Visit IXL.com to lead your students towards data-driven excellence today. The link is in the show notes. And again, appreciate IXL sponsoring today's podcast.
All right. Thank you for that. Friends, it is June 17th. Do you have to, or do you get to? Here in New York, we all see the finish line. Graduation is around next week for us. And people are tired. People have laid it all out there. There's testings, there's ceremonies, there's all of those things going on right now. But do you have to go to work? Do you have to go to that ceremony? Do you have to go to that banquet? Or do you get to? When we lead with gratitude, when we lead in situations in our schools that we're grateful that we're there, that we're proud to be there, carry the banner for our schools, it's a different mindset, right? How can you turn it from a job that you have to go to, that you get to go to? You get to celebrate the kids. You get to shine a spotlight on your staff. And that comes with time. That comes with experience. That comes with digging down and pushing deep into the work, into the community, and into the schools. So if you're feeling that you have to, I'm going to ask you to step back and have a paradigm shift. Step back and take a look at the big picture. And it's a great feeling that when you get to do these things and celebrate your school. So good luck down the stretch, everyone. But enough of me chatting. Let's meet Siera Pickering live from Saranac Lake. There she is. Siera, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on. And I know you are busy there. Siera, if it's okay. Not only is she a busy educator, not only do you have 2 kids at home, not only are you the dean of students, you are having your 3rd child here in just a few weeks.
Yes, if it was tomorrow, I wouldn't be upset. We are ready.
I told her my wife would not come to the living room if she was that pregnant. And here you are on the podcast. So kudos and certainly good luck with all of that for you and your family.
Thank you.
Yeah. Friends, this is Siera Pickering. She is the Dean of Students at Petrova Elementary, Saranac Lake, New York. Siera, for people that don't know where beautiful Saranac Lake is, tell us a little bit regionally about the area and certainly, what about Petrova?
Yeah, absolutely. So Saranac Lake is kind of the heart of the Adirondack Mountains. So we're a little town here nestled right next to Lake Placid, which many people know hosted the Olympics. And
I think was there a hockey game there at some point?
might have
I
been
heard
one.
maybe a
Maybe.
hockey game, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a beautiful town. I moved here. Let's see, my son is 8, so 7 years ago, and it's been an awesome place to grow myself and to raise my family.
Yeah, and a beautiful school district there. Great people. We had the principal, Josh Dan, on. Melissa Butler, you're one of your leaders there. Your superintendent. Fantastic people. So you are not from Saranac Lake originally. Where are you from?
I am not. I'm from Messina, New York, so I'm about an hour and a half north of here. It's right on the Canadian border.
Yeah, I didn't know you could go north of there. I mean,
Oh yeah, you can go more north.
I'm here in Orange County, and we say upstate. We're talking about you.
Right.
Cool. And what's your role there as dean? Are you full-time dean? Are you still teaching? How does that work in Petrova?
Yep. So I'm full-time dean. This is my second year in the role here. Essentially, I help the principal with behavior, referrals, climate and culture. We kind of tag team quite a bit of all of his duties and responsibilities. And yeah, it's kind of like a all-in-one package. You kind of make it whatever you and the principal want to make it. When I came into the role, the person who was there before me was in it for quite a while. I think she was there for probably 7 or 8 years. So
Wow.
when he and I kind of got together and figured out we were going to be a team, he was really great about, what do you want to do? What kind of projects do you want to lead? And so it's been a great experience where I'm able to really dive in and find what I'm good at and what I need to grow in.
Siera, it's your second year doing it. You transitioned from teaching. What are some things you learned about leadership and maybe working in education at a different level, kind of with a more global view? What's some things you've learned?
Yeah, so I've actually taken like baby steps out of the classroom. So I was a classroom teacher, and then I stepped into the AIS role, so intervention. So I went from just my kids to K-5, and just intervention, and now I'm whole school K-5. And just being able to see things from a different perspective has showed me, education from a different light, but it's also made me more confident in my decision that I'm supposed to be somewhere besides just a classroom.
Yeah. You in your pre-show notes here in our conversations, you've shared that you want to do more, right? It's not that you're not doing it in the classroom, but you want to do more. You want to reach more people. Tell me about that desire to kind of have more of an impact.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to do more. I've always wanted to help more kids. So I've always taken on more responsibilities. So when I was the classroom teacher, I also wanted to, run student council, and I also wanted to be in the lunchroom every day, sitting with the kids and that I had the prior year before. I guess if you would ask my parents, they've probably say I've always had a hard time taking the back seat. I've always had a hard time just kind of following suit and following directions. I always want to help steer the ship. I always want to make something better. I always want to help people grow. And I think that has allowed me to kind of fall into this role here as dean, where I'm able to reach more students. I'm able to work with more staff, and I'm kind of able to see the vast differences in, a kindergarten student to a 5th grade student. Sure, we hear, developmentally this, developmentally that. But when you're able to work with different kids from different ages all day long, it really shifts your perspective on what a school needs to run smoothly.
Yeah, interesting there. Siera, it's June 17th, as I shared in the opening. Get to and have to. What were some of the things of your year that you loved, right? What were some great things that you look back that you were really pleased about? And what were some challenges to say, man, that was tough. We're going to do it differently next year. Share a little bit of both.
Yeah, I would say the most challenging part this year was kind of dealing with the constant unwavering changes that were happening from the district level this year. Um, Cuts had to be made. The culture and climate definitely took a hit because of that. Um, and I'll often describe my job as I'm kind of in no man's land. So I'm not an administrator completely, but I'm also not a teacher. So it was kind of like, how do I help, mitigate this um, for all of the staff in our building and keep moving forward for the kids.
Mhm.
So that was definitely a challenging part this year of just, where do I fit and how do I help? Um, and I do struggle when I feel like I can't be helpful. That doesn't always sit well with me. So a lot of the times, just listening. If a teacher just wanted to come in and vent and just, letting them do that, and then they'd be like, "Thank you," and they'd leave, and I'm like, "You're welcome."
I didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I would say the most rewarding part this year was really being part of the team that helped shift a more data-driven experience for both staff and students. So we're really getting into like the MTSS model and kind of showing and displaying accountability for what we are teaching some of our lowest learners. That's been really awesome because that's something that I've been really passionate about for the past, 5 or 6 years. Um, and just having the school kind of get into it and really start making that shift has been an awesome experience.
Yeah. And you lead those meetings, those MTSS meetings?
I'm on the team, so we have an MTSS coordinator this year that has kind of really
Nice.
taken charge and tried to lay a foundation for the district. Next year we won't have her, so I don't know what that'll look like, but I'll always be happy to jump on and um, help out if that's needed.
Yeah. And you mentioned the data, Sierra, and you heard the sponsorship of the program iExcel. That is certainly a component we use here in Port Jervis for data. What's been your experience using iExcel as part of that, the learning and the growth of the child?
Yeah, so I used iExcel as a classroom teacher for multiple different grade levels: first grade, second grade, fourth grade. And I even used it last year when I was helping with a second grade classroom, actually two second grade classrooms, um, just to kind of get them something that could give them what do my kids need. And iExcel is a great tool for that. Their diagnostics are phenomenal. And when it's used with fidelity and when it's used as a tool where teachers can go in and assign different lessons and different things that they need to test their kids on, it's really able to give them a full picture of who the kid is and where we need to go moving forward.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and again, this time of the year, you could look back and see all those
Right.
things, see where the kid do well. Really the details of it is impressive.
Yeah, yeah. And to be able to give that to the next year teacher, um, so they're not, always restarting every September is an awesome asset to iExcel.
Yeah, when the kid goes through there for sure. Yeah. Sierra, that data, that learning, certainly something you are quite interested in. But I love that you have a passion about how the brain learns, right? And how to effectively teach children the science of reading and all of that. Talk to me about that interest and how kids learn.
Yeah, so I kind of started diving in when we were all cooped up during the COVID crisis and everybody was stuck at home. Um, it started by, doom scrolling on Instagram and seeing different teachers I followed that were talking about the science of reading and um, how you could make the most impact from remote learning. And I just haven't stopped from there. And even being out of the classroom, I'm still taking classes. I'm still trying to get certified in different reading programs. It's just very interesting what you learn when you are in your graduate program for college to be a teacher versus how kids actually need you to teach them.
Mm,
There's a big disconnect. So I want to learn as much as I can to help our new teachers to be able to build that foundation quicker rather than, wait and have to find out like I did.
Yeah. I'm new to doing elementary observations. I was a secondary guy, and watching those kids, group the words together and link them, or whatever they call it. It's been fascinating, and to see that really, it's like miracle workers, but it is a prescribed teaching method of the reading, and certainly the development of the brain. It's been fascinating.
Yeah, yeah. And it's really pushed me to be a more empathetic educator and a more empathetic leader, because when you realize that the kid doesn't have that foundation, or that the teacher doesn't know, the difference that, just doing one little thing differently could get all of the kids rather than, missing that little lower percentile of low students. It's really pushed me to want to get that to more people and to teach more people that that's so important. And little shifts can make a big difference.
Get to and have to, just that mindset, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Siera, you really, it's nice to meet somebody that really wants to do a good job. You want to make an impact. You want to do more. You're not afraid to learn new things. So it's inspiring. How do you make sure that job is not all negative? When you hear dean of students, you just think of the person sitting behind the desk dealing with discipline referrals all day long. How do you make sure that that's not a negative experience for you and the kids?
Yeah. So when I heard that the job was going to be available, that was my first thought was, I don't want to be that person. If you've ever seen me in the building, no matter what building I'm in, I am usually in very colorful, flashy, rainbow earrings, crazy scrunchies. I like the happy vibes of elementary school. So I was like, how am I going to do this and do this how they want me to do this? I've definitely taken a different approach, but I think that it has created a safe space for kids to know that they are going to make mistakes. I know that. They know that. And it's how can we fix it and how can we make it right? And the important part is everybody makes mistakes. How can we make it correct, or how can we fix it? How can we mend things? So that's kind of the approach that I go in with kids. I'm not going to just sit here and yell and bark and send a referral home and the end, you're missing recess tomorrow, but we are going to have lunch tomorrow together. And I might come out for recess tomorrow and we'll see how it goes. So I've definitely taken an alternative approach to the traditional, you're dealing with behavior. I want them to know that I'm on their side and I'm on their team, and that I don't just go away. So they don't always just see me when they're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm going to pop in and see you next week and see how things are going. You haven't been in my office in a couple weeks. What's changed? So that follow through, I think, is really important. So they know that I'm somebody that cares just beyond when they get in trouble.
Yeah. And we want to model that behavior that we want in the kids. One of the things I've noticed in the elementary schools is just the spotlight on positive behavior. Like, hey, look at this group over here. They're sitting crisscross applesauce. That's how it should be done, kids. And those kids see it, and then they do it, right? That positive modeling behavior versus sometimes with the older kids, it's just punitive. You do this, you get detention. I don't know. They do a great job of trying to keep it positive.
Yeah, and we do a lot of whole school. So we use the Positivity Project in our school. So we do a lot of recognition of kids doing the right thing. We give out awards every day on the announcements. Is an opportunity to hear your name and to hear that somebody saw you doing something. And maybe you didn't even know that they saw you, helping somebody up, or telling somebody, hey, that's not nice, or picking up the garbage, even though it's not yours. So we really do try to make that positive experience something that they're working towards. And we have a great team at Petrova. So, I mean, we are all hands on deck. It shocks me sometimes the things that we all have to do to go above and beyond. Our mental health team is one of a kind there. They will do whatever, whenever, however you need to help a kid succeed. So it's really a team effort, but it's quite an experience.
Yeah. Friends, if you're watching live, this is Siera Pickering, Saranac Lake, New York. A budding administrator there has jumped in. She has little kids at home, but she's leading and doing more in her school. So please jump in the show and say hello and throw a question or a comment to Siera in there. Siera, you're also very active on social media. We connected on social media. I mean, you were active in the presentations both times I was there. And I did see the bright colors, and I did see you jumping in there, which I thought was great. But one of the people you connect with is Lee Ragsdale. You liked her message, and talk to me about that inspiration that you got from Lee, and why is that somebody that you kind of drew to there?
Well, I mean, you can't miss her. You'll see her if you look up the Unorthodox Principal. She's got a hot pink sequin blazer on that, I'm a pink girl, so that caught my eye immediately. Just her name in general, Unorthodox Principal. I'm like, that's somebody I want to be like. Goes against the status quo, tries to create change. Lee is genuine. She is someone who will be there for you, even if she has never had an actual conversation with you. If you are an eager future leader or even have any interest in anything with administration in school, she will be there for you, answer questions, make you feel heard. I actually follow her group on Mighty now. So I've got like the yearly subscription where she every day puts something out for us to kind of connect on, to chat in. If I'm having a rough day and I've just had enough, I'll go in the chat and just kind of vent a little bit of, I am not effective, blah, blah, blah. This happened. I don't think I can do this. And there's a whole support system there for people to give you feedback, to tell you, oh, I've had something similar. Here's what I did. Go home, go to sleep, wake up, start again tomorrow. She's just created a community of leaders where you constantly feel supported. And I think that's the foundation of who she is as a person. She's awesome.
Yeah. I like that there. We're definitely going to follow her. It's at Lee M. Ragsdale on X, and she's the Unorthodox Principal on Instagram. We will have to check that out.
Yeah.
I like the word you said in there, Siera, eager, and I sense that about you, that you are eager to do a good job. And that's rare in today's world. There's people that just show up to school, and then the day has a natural kind of flow to it. But you're eager to get in there and get your hands dirty and do more. Again, it's inspiring to meet a young person like yourself that has that desire. That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Your life's about to change here, Siera. Again, third child coming. Good luck. You've done it before, so you're a pro. What motherly advice do you have for all those moms that maybe might be having their first child out there, or some mom tips for people with young children that want their kids to do well in school? What are some things that you would offer there?
As hard as it is to say, don't stress. The most important thing that you could do for your child is to be present. Everything else will kind of fall into place. If you're actively present for them, it makes the world of a difference. And put the phone down. That's something that I've really noticed. Even when talking with kids, they almost expect you to be like this. So being able to kind of put that down and really separate yourself to show them that you're there, whether they're playing with Legos, whether they're, emptying their folder to show you the work they did that day. just being present and not kind of stressing about the rest.
Yeah. And your own children, Sierra, they're not cell phone kids yet, right? Do they have phones yet?
No, and they're so unlucky that I'm in the job that I'm in because I don't know that they'll ever get one.
They're 18, Mom, can I get a phone? Yeah.
Ugh, they're
Yeah.
the worst.
It does change your life as a parent when, and ours, we pretty much did at middle school.
Right.
A lot of restrictions and that kind of stuff. But
Yep.
it changes things for you as a parent, and it certainly changes things for you, the kids.
Yeah.
So how will you make that decision with your children of when and how? How will you do that?
We talk about that often, Kyle and I. At this point, thankfully, we're just avoiding. The oldest is only going to be 9, so I'm like, well, we have a
Okay.
little bit.
You have a little
But
time.
so I don't know, honestly. I feel like there's going to be a time where it's inevitable, especially with how active both kids right now are in sports. I feel like there's going to come a time where I'm going to need to know, where to pick you up and when to pick you up. But we'll cross that bridge when we have to, I guess. That's one I'm avoiding.
Yeah, it is a challenge. I have 18, 17, and 14, and it's a challenge now, trying to teach them about it, and but that thing is powerful, and it does draw people's attention and in a lot of ways there. Yeah, so cool. Sierra, what are you most looking forward to this summer? Obviously, the baby, but you have a little time before the baby comes. What are you most looking forward to this summer?
Well, we always have projects that we're doing, and we've lived in our house for 4 years, but we're always, what's the next summer project where we're going to improve the house. I've gotten into landscaping, so I really like being able to kind of do it on my own. Granted, right now I'm a little slower paced than I usually am.
Easy with the shovel there. Easy. Yeah.
They won't even let me have the shovel at this point.
Yeah, that's good.
But,
yeah.
I'm excited to kind of do the next section of the house. I did the front last year. I did the first side the year before that. So I'm getting around to it. We moved into a jungle, I say. Our house was completely covered with 20 years of overgrown shrubs. We've ripped them out the first year, and every year we're making it a little bit better. So
yeah,
it'll be fun to kind of see what I get done this year, especially with the little one coming.
That's right. Well, and you have those other 2 kids to help you. You have a garden at the house?
I do not yet. That's
Okay.
Probably next year's goal.
Yeah. Well, and the growing season in Saranac, I mean, you get, pretty much June, July, August, you get 3 months?
Well, you start in like March inside, and then you move them out. And I don't know, our farmers market here is local, and they've got everything you could even dream of.
Yeah.
So I think I've got to do some research to see, but we definitely started talking about, a garden. My daughter wants chickens, but I don't know that that's happening.
She got a little brother. How about that?
Right. Here you go.
Yeah. If you've never been to the area, friends, again, Lake Placid, Saranac Lake, they're kind of right next to each other.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful community, a beautiful place. And the school district had such a great spirit. Again, great leaders. I really enjoyed my time there. So definitely, summertime is great. If you're a skier, obviously, the winter time up there, but summertime in that area is phenomenal as well. So enjoy it all,
Yeah.
Sierra. Yeah. Sierra, anything you wanted to share that I did not ask you?
I would say, my hope is that I help people remember that their why is important. I feel like we all get into education for the right reasons. And sometimes that why and that passion and that drive kind of goes to the wayside because you are just going through the motions, or you're exhausted, or you have a tough class, or you have a tough building. So I hope that people remember that that why of why they started to be in education, whether that be to be someone constant for those kids or to be an inspirational figure for other educators. Sometimes we're the only safe and rational place that these kids have. And I think that's important to kind of keep in your forefront when you're having those tough days.
Yeah, for sure. Siera, what's something that you're going to do? Obviously, you're pouring into a lot of people. Obviously, you're giving a lot to your school community, but you're going to have a newborn now and be a dean of students and have your other children. How are you going to take care of yourself first? What's something that you're going to do in September to make sure that you're taking care of mom first and then all of these other needs?
Yeah. I mean, I work alongside one of the most understanding and team player administrators that I think I've ever met. So Brian Munn is our administrator. He is awesome. If I say, I can't do this, I can't do that, no problem. He just picks it up without even like a second blink. And so knowing that I have him as my lead, as my teammate is awesome. Because being a mom of two is, hard enough, and they're both in the building. So throw one more in the mix there, but I've got a good support system at home. My husband is like the yes man of everything. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to go back to school. Yeah, you absolutely do it. And the podcast, he's like, yep, we're going grocery shopping. We'll get out of the house. So knowing that I have people to lean on definitely helps to make it easier. And I think being able to go into the same role in September, I already know what I've got to do. This will be my third year in this role.
Yeah.
It definitely makes the transition of going from a family of 4 to a family of 5 feel manageable.
Yeah.
So being able to stay in my role as well definitely made a difference stress-wise.
And it's nice to hear, Siera, with your principal. People talk about, family first, right? People say those things, but then there's an issue, right? Then my kid's
Right.
sick, my kid, and then versus to hear that. So kudos to your leadership there, and to experience it myself here in Port Jervis. When I'm told family first, I need to go take care of that. It's a nice feeling. It really is, because you want to do a good job at both, and
Right.
Siera, I'll also share too, again, to have a young mom not afraid to go into leadership while growing her family, it's inspiring to see and hear, and I really wish you the best on your journey.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, let's get you to dinner time and all those things. So this is rapid fire, Siera. Like that baby's telling you, you don't know when, you got to be ready. So are you ready for rapid fire?
All right, I am.
Here we go. Last movie you saw?
Lilo and Stitch, the new one. Go see it.
Big, yeah.
It was awesome.
Good. Yeah, we love Disney. Last concert you went to?
I had to laugh because I was like, what is the last concert I've been to? I don't know, because I've just, been momming it for a while. So I would have to say Wild Kratts Live is as actiony as I'm getting here.
Yes. Love me some Wild Kratts. Yes. Last song you sang out loud in the car?
We are jamming currently every time, full blast to Pink Pony Club. Was it like Chapel Rowan or something? My daughter is in love with it, so that's been our jam.
Because you're driving the kids to school with you
every morning.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, Siera. Some people like that commute; they need a break. But you'll remember these days. Finally, look back when they're driving themselves one day.
Right.
Yeah, awesome. Your favorite dish?
It's got to be poutine. So being from Messina, poutine is really just French fries and gravy and cheese curd, but you have to do it correctly. A lot of places, will say they have it and it's not real. But if you can get real Canadian poutine, that's the way to go.
Poutine. Okay. Who's the chef in your house? Are you the cook or is your husband the cook?
Not me.
Not you.
I can pack a lunch. Kyle makes all of the meals. It's something I never even have to
Wow.
worry about.
Yeah.
Add that
So
to the list of, support.
he and your children went grocery shopping tonight, but they're cooking dinner too.
They're also cooking dinner. Yes.
So you're gonna finish the podcast and go up and have a beautiful dinner with your family.
My plate will be made. It's like a dream.
She's got it going on.
Yep.
It'll be difficult for vacation this summer. But what's your favorite vacation spot there? Where does the Pickering's vacation?
We always go to Old Orchard Beach.
Nice.
We actually just got married there last year.
Beautiful.
So honestly, even with the newborn, we'll probably do it again. We love a good aquarium. We love a good museum. The kids love to go to fun, hands-on experience type of things. And I am a very low stress vacationer. We went there when my daughter was only like a month old. I just make it work and we go along for the ride.
Beautiful. In 2025, I have fill in the blank.
I have accepted that if everything does not get done in the day, it can get done tomorrow.
In 2025, I have stopped
trying to do it all. I really struggled stepping into this role that I had to do 100% of 100%. So when I took a step back, I was able to see that the work I produced was higher quality if I just kind of took things, one or two things at a time.
Beautiful. Good for you there. Siera is a Syracuse Orangeman. She works at the Big S, Saranac Lake, but she also went to Syracuse. What's your favorite Syracuse memory of your time with the Big Orange?
My favorite Syracuse memory. Oh, well, I met one of my best friends who, we're still there for each other whenever we need each other today. But I would have to say my favorite memory was when I got accepted to intern with the United Nations. It was a surreal acceptance letter that I got. It was an experience that I think really pushed and shifted me to understand how the real world works. They really set you up to be a leader. And I feel like if I wouldn't have went to Syracuse, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Great answer. We'll have to send that to Syracuse. That was beautiful. Is Syracuse a football school or a basketball school?
I guess that depends who you ask. I'm going to say they're a basketball school.
Okay.
They didn't do so hot. They didn't do so hot in football when I was there, but like I said, depends who you ask. If you ask a couple of my uncles, they'd probably say the other.
Yeah. A basketball game in the Dome is a sight to see for sure.
Like no other.
Yeah, it's just
even if you're at the tippity top, the nosebleeds, it doesn't matter where you're at. It is, once in a lifetime experience, especially to be able to be at all of those.
Yeah. And they just refurbish it, the roof, the design, it's all so cool. Yeah. I blew the whistle as a referee and it would take 5 seconds for the crowd to react because it was so far away, Yeah. Wow. You are a superhero. So what is your superpower?
I would love super speed if it were me. I feel like I could just get, like I said, I struggle with not doing everything. So if I could get more done in the day, I would love that, make dinner time clean up 2 minutes and then be able to spend the rest of the evening with the family instead of worrying about what needs to get done for tomorrow. Yeah.
A pet peeve of yours?
When adults choose to not do things for the right reasons.
Good answer. At 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, Siera Pickering is fill in the blank.
Relaxing on the couch while the kids are in their little chairs watching Saturday morning cartoons, and I am hanging out.
They're watching cartoons, right? You have coffee? You a coffee drinker?
So the pregnancy made me hate coffee, which is so sad because I am a big coffee drinker.
Yeah.
So right now I drink a soda in the morning. It's so weird.
Yeah. Can you not have coffee with?
I
being
just
pregnant?
don't want it. It makes me like sick. It's so
Really?
weird.
Oh my God.
I know.
I'm a coffee guru there. Yeah.
I
Something
used to
about
have 2-3 cups a day.
uh-huh. Something about Siera Pickering that people do not know about.
Uh, when I saw this, I had to laugh, and I'm like, I don't know. I think that people ruin ice cream and desserts when they put nuts on them.
Oh, really? You know, like the
Yep.
little walnut, huh? Do you have a nut allergy?
I do not. And I like nuts, and other stuff, but ice cream and dessert, you see a cookie and they're like, oh, it's macadamia nut. I'm like, why?
Siera, this is show 331. No one has ever said that. So this is Siera, this has been great. You are inspiring. You know, your future in education is bright. And we need people like you that are eager to do a good job leading and serving others. So thank you. Thank you for that. How about a quote to bring us home, Siera?
Yep. I got to give it to Kid President. Do you know Kid President?
I've seen the Kid President, yes.
All right. Kid President is my all-time favorite. If you ask the students, I'm always making them watch his videos at our Friday morning meetings. My
Nice.
favorite quote of all time is, be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody.
Ooh, say it one more time.
Be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody.
Siera Pickering, everyone, leader, Saranac Lake Schools. Siera, good luck with the pregnancy. You did fantastic here on Education, Leadership, and Beyond.
Thank you.
Yeah, stay on the line a second. We are going to sign off, friends. For all of you here in the Northeast, hang in there. Don't count the days. Make the days count and continue to do a good job there, even though you're tired. We need you right up to the end of school. So, Siera, good luck down the stretch, okay?
Thank you.
Keep surviving and thriving, friends.